movie, but this is reality you can get in on. You've probably said it's in my DNA before, but do you really know what's in there? Now you can, because our sponsor 23andMe has made it easy for millions to understand their genetic history, to find out where in the world they come from and discover more about their health. We needed to try this for ourselves, so here to tell us more, please welcome 23andMe's Emily, say it.
Trabant Conley.
I got the Conley part.
You got it,
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
so we want to hear more about this. What exactly is 23andMe and how does it work?
So 23andMe is a DNA test that can tell you about your health and your ancestry. And the way it works is really simple. You spit into a tube, you send it off to our lab. We look at hundreds of thousands of points in your DNA across your 23 pairs of chromosomes from our name, 23andMe, and then you get all your results in your online account.
Okay, and we sent you samples, and we're all going to learn our results for the first time on air. We have been trying to work the system. No one's told us anything. So we're going to start on this side. We're starting with Jed. First of all, though, Jed, what do you expect to find out? What do you think you are?
I mean, I'm told I'm Italian. I talk like an Italian, so, you know.
Yeah, so I have to tell you, Jedediah, you are very Italian.
Yay!
Very
Congratulations.
Italian. So we see that 77% of your DNA comes from Italy, so traces to Italian ancestors, which means you've got parents, grandparents, great-grandparents who are likely 100% Italian. But what we also see in your DNA is this kind of Mediterranean signature. So you have DNA that comes from Spain and Portugal, from the Balkans, and a little tiny bit from North Africa.
That's really pretty.
Wait, a little tiny bit from where?
Africa!
From North Africa.
Told you! Told you! Okay.
Grandpappy might have been fooling around. Yes.
Speaking of
Might have had a trick or
Africa,
two.
next up we've got Sunny. We've all been debating
Oh, there's a good one.
this.
Okay.
This one's going to be good. Sunny, first of all, what do you think you're going to find out?
Well, I think I certainly have African
Maybe.
roots.
You don't know yet.
And Spanish, Native American, and Jewish.
All right. So what we see, and it's fantastic. So your ancestry is so beautiful. So we see 52% of your DNA comes from Africa, and so you were right on.
Over
Right on.
50%.
Over 50%.
Yeah, I like that.
And for you, it comes from both sides, from mom and dad, and primarily from Western Africa, which is where we know many of the slave trade originated, bringing people from Africa to the Americas.
Right.
So we see the African.
Okay.
We see 36% of your DNA is European. And that's primarily from Spain and Portugal.
Okay.
And then we see about 6.5% of your DNA is Native American, and that's kind of from the
That's my
Americas
grandmother.
broadly, right?
Yeah.
So for you, we actually think this is from the Tainos. These were the native
My
people
grandmother
of
was a
Puerto
Puerto
Rico.
Rican Indian.
Yes, and a
get
Taino
out of here.
ancestor.
Sunny,
Then
yours
they're
is
right.
so cool.
It's very cool. So you have like the signature of Latino genetics, this combination of African, European, and Native American.
There you go.
You got
Sunny,
it.
you've been
That's
right
cool.
the whole time. You're right the
Whole time.
Okay. Now, next up, we've got Caitlin. Caitlin, what do you think you're going to find out?
I have no idea. I don't know that much of my family history, but my mother was Esther McGuire from, it's very Irish. I think the Jenner name came more from Great Britain and in Germany, because there's even like a Jenner Mountain in Germany, but that's about the only thing I know.
Interesting. So so you definitely have a strong European lineage.
Yes.
And for you, we see this a huge part of your DNA, 66% is British and Irish.
Oh my
So
God.
that 99% European. Yes, you are very European in
am.
background.
Do they love me over there? This is great. I feel like I'm going home to London.
But we see some interesting things for you as well, that you have a tiny bit of DNA also from North Africa, and then a little
you
bit
go.
from South Asia. Yes.
And where?
And from South Asia.
Asia.
So like present-day India, essentially. And that South Asian DNA that we see for you, we know comes from your mom's side. We can see it on your X chromosome. So like maybe 6 or 7 generations ago, you have some South Asian ancestors.
No way.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Mother
wanna meet
Africa shows up with everyone.
That's what Sunny tells me.
That's where we all started.
where we all started.
Sunny,
Yeah, no, that's
that leads us right to me. I've been begging for Mother Africa. We got this. Okay. We're going to talk about me and what I think I am. I've been told on both sides that I'm almost all German and that I have a little bit of Native American. My mom says one toe.
Okay.
And maybe another toe is Irish.
Okay, so for you are also very European, like Caitlin.
Hey.
But we see in your European DNA kind of, 99.9%. You are.
Sunny, there's no room for Mother Africa!
There's no Native American American in there. I'm sorry, you are super European. But you're.
I have nothing against Europeans. I love them, but I was really hoping for my toe of Native American.
Now, we do see for you that this huge diversity within Europe, like going all the way from Scandinavia in the north, we see a really strong percentage of French and British and German and Irish as well. So we see that kind of, and then all the way down to Scandinavia.
What about all the way down to Africa?
What about North Africa?
Teeny tiny I'm African! You're all related. So you got a little twist in there.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it also has, it's set up there, Middle Eastern and North Africa.
Yes, and that's part of that kind of Mediterranean, kind of ringing the Mediterranean Sea, and that's part of your
I'm taking
distant
my
ancestry.
point one.
We'll
Sonny.
take that.
Bringing
From
that to
there.
the table from here on out.
You got your toe.
But it wasn't, I got my toe. But it wasn't just our ancestry. You also found out some of the stuff it says, other things it says about our genetics.
Yes, your DNA can tell you so much. So we looked at genetics of body weight, and I was certainly this is something genes are
give you the
important.
answer
We
without
know
the
people have
DNA.
skinny genes, but lifestyle, diet are super important as well. So we looked at hundreds of genes related to how much you weigh, and you all fared pretty well in this department. So you are predisposed to weigh about average.
Okay.
You were next up with predisposed to weigh 6% less than average.
Oh my God, I'm skinny.
Which is Caitlin was next with 8% less than average, and Jedediah won the genetic lottery 9% less than average. You have the skinniest
knew that.
genes
Really?
at the table, so you can have
She
another
didn't
cupcake.
need to spit into anything. We know she's the skinny one.
We do know that.
Okay, and then you also talked about our athletic ability. I hope no one's threatened here by me or Caitlin.
Yes.
I think it's you. Yeah.
So genes can tell you a ton about your athletic capability in terms of how the composition of your muscles, the capability of those muscles are influenced in part by genetics. And so studies of Olympic athletes looking at power sports like running and jumping and throwing have found a certain
What I
genetic
did.
variant
Yes, I-
associated with being good at those things. And so for Caitlin, not
Sonny, don't
surprisingly,
get excited.
because we have an Olympian here
Yeah.
who's done these, the decathlon is all about
did,
power
yeah.
sports. You, of course, have this genetic variant. We were not at all surprised to see
Yeah.
that this was probably a factor potentially. in
Well,
your-
I agree. I never felt like I was the best genetic athlete out there. I had other guys that I thought were just more talented than me. They had more speed than me and this and that. Where I had my forte was my brain. I outtrained them. I outworked them.
Wait, but we want to get these results, and we're what is her
Yes, and so what
DNA
was
say?
so she has the result, right? I don't think you could have won that gold medal without this. It feels like it's part of getting there, but the hard work was so important. That's critical. But what's cool is that all three
Can
of
I
you
win
share
one?
this. You all share this with Caitlin. You have the same genetic.
There's
variant.
no way I've got Olympic
All
DNA.
three of you.
Baby,
Okay,
have
well,
the same genetics.
a big thank you to Emily and members of our audience. Now it's your turn, because thanks to 23andMe, you are each